Hi, everybody. Welcome to City Girls Pod. And this is a show where we love to talk all things Sex in the City and all things Sarah Jessica Parker, including her show Square Pegs that we are recapping. And today we're talking about episodes 13 and 14. And these were a lot of fun. We've gone over the edge. Now we're in the second half of the season, only got a couple recaps left, which is too bad, but it's been a lot of fun.
Don't worry, we'll find something else.
Yes.
We always do.
Yes, we always do.
SJP, if
Well,
you
and
want to come on
before
the
we know
pod, we're
it, we'll
here.
have, and just like that, season three with Rosie O'Donnell. Have we talked about that on this show?
We
I can't
briefly
remember.
touched on it.
Oh,
Briefly,
okay.
briefly.
Yeah.
I think we still don't know exactly what she's doing in the show. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. And I think it's gonna be good. I'm excited.
I do too.
It's gonna be good.
I'm fascinated to see how everything is going to roll out.
Yeah. I just hope that she's a unique character and not a replacement for Che. I hope
I
I hope that
know.
she's not like related to Che or some kind of like
Mm.
no. She
I
needs
also don't think I
her
want her to be a
own.
comedian.
Yeah, that's why I'm worried. Like
Oh,
if she's
yeah,
some
that's
kind
why I'm
of like
worried.
connection to Che,
Yeah, I almost want her to be some sort of like corporate thing.
like if she's like Che's mother or something like or
Oh,
whatever. I don't know if she's
yeah.
old enough to be Che's mother, but whatever. That would suck. Don't do
Yeah. Please, 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 please. Please,
that.
please, please.
But anyway, yeah. But it's shooting. We're getting it. It's
It's shooting,
happened. It's
baby.
happening. So here we go. Uh, all right. So we have episode 13 is called It's All How You See Things. And it's Patty blindly ventures out to prove her theory that glasses decrease popularity at Wee Moo Wee, but her visionary experiment could jeopardize her longtime relationship with her best friend, Lauren. So yeah, I mean, this episode was interesting because again, we talked about it in the last recap, but like I think she would be legally blind if she
Yeah.
really can't see to the level that they show in this episode. Like nothing is clear, it's all fuzzy. Like if you can't if you can't make out objects like at all, then
Yeah.
you're blind. You're not.
Yeah.
Like
Her eyesight is severely,
yeah,
severely impaired.
yeah. Like and I don't think glasses could even really fix that level.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that they're show the way that they depict it, it's just kind of like what?
Right.
Yeah.
Like Patty, okay.
It kind of reminds me of. Did you see the colorblind Hallmark movie? The Color of My Love
No.
or something like that?
Oh no. No,
It
I
was
didn't.
so bad, but like epically so. It's pretty funny.
I lo-
And they have these like magic glasses that like amazingly restore his vision. And um and he goes from like seeing like not be he goes from being like blind, not just like colorblind.
Oh,
He can't make out. Like, I mean, they say he's colorblind, but the way they're talking about him, it's it's ridiculous. It's
right.
insane, you know. And then he puts on these glasses, and it's like, whoop.
I can see it all.
Yes. I mean, it's amazing that it took them that long to do a Christmas movie about red green color blindness because you think
Yes.
red green
Yep.
Christmas. How did
Yep.
that idea not happen before? But the way they did it was really funny.
That actually could have been a really like an interesting premise.
Yeah, but
I feel
it
like if you would have done it, it would have landed better.
oh, thank you. I don't know about that, but yeah, it is one of there's not that many Hallmark movies that are in that sort of so bad it's good. You
Hmm.
know, like
Hmm.
most of them, if they're bad, they're just kind of boring. They're
Yeah.
not really that
Yeah.
good. But like that's one that does sort of transcend and you can like you can laugh at how
I would
hard they
say I would agree with you. And I would say, especially now, I feel like maybe like 8 years ago, there were and beyond,
yeah.
there were a lot that were so bad that they were good. But then like the
Yeah.
quality has gotten better, but almost to the detriment of when they're bad, like you said, they're just boring.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
Yeah, especially because they used to lean a little bit more into like fantasy kind of
Yeah.
a thing. Like when one of my favorite episodes of the podcast we ever did, me and Thaddeus, we reviewed like the first Hallmark movies from like Christmas movies from the 60s and 70s.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah, in particular, there's this movie called The Littlest Angel, which
Yeah.
is like bonkers and crazy.
Yes, please.
And so you got to check it out. Like every Hallmark movie fan definitely has to watch The Littlest Angel. It's wild. But we'd like to take a second from this episode of the podcast to celebrate our sponsor of this episode, and that is the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast?
Do you want an inside scoop into what happens on the podcast?
Do you want early access to episodes and loads of cool perks?
Now is the time to become a patron of Hallmarkies Podcast.
By becoming a patron, you get to access our patron Facebook group.
You can request episodes or even be a guest on the podcast.
And most importantly, any patron can join our monthly movie watch-alongs with stars like Paul Campbell, Natalie Hall, and more.
It's as low as $2 a month to join in and become a special part of the Hallmarkies family.
Please consider, and we will love you forever.
Go to patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
So then we have this whole thing about the radio station that the Jennifer's like not that into it, but there's and LaDonna is like upset because there's no women in there's no women DJs, there's no so they're getting frustrated. So that's
Which
sort
I
of a
love that.
plot.
I was
No
like, yes,
female
LaDonna,
DJs.
you tell
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. And then we have Patty. She's going to try to not wear her glasses. And boy, does that go bad. Because again, she's blind. She cannot see anything.
Yeah, why is she not gonna wear like I don't know. I just think it's so funny. I'm like, were people really picked on this badly for wearing glasses?
No, I mean, maybe they do. I mean, it is a cliche that you see
Yeah.
in like so many different movies. That's like as soon as they take off the glasses and straighten their hair, all of a sudden they're
What a
a real
babe.
babe. Yeah, but yeah, I don't think the glasses were so uncool. I don't know. Maybe
No. I think
you know,
especially because she was very cute.
and she could wear like a little bit. Her glasses are pretty chunky. Like
Yeah.
if she was so concerned about her glasses, then I would think that she would wear like lighter glasses.
Yeah, I agree. Like I love a chunky frame glasses and like that's kind of in now, but I
Yeah.
think you're exactly right. She could get a very thin, like if she wanted them to not look like glasses as much as possible.
Yes. Yeah. And so Muffy is having this bake sale for the Guatemalan child. And it's just our girl will go another season without swimwear because of you.
We
That's
have to see
funny.
this child at some
I
point.
know. To the bake sale. And it looked like a good bake sale. I mean, they had like multiple cakes
Oh,
and
girl, you're not
it's
even.
like
Oh my gosh,
yum.
banana bread. I was like, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
What's your go? If you go to a bakery, what's your go-to? Are you a cookie person, cake person,
I am if there's a
pastry?
banana bread, yes. If there's a really good brownie that is not like a cake brownie, but like a gooey brownie
Oh, yeah.
or a blondie. What about you?
That's true. I do like a good brownies, but I love brownies with a little bit of frosting on top.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
please.
back in my college, they're very famous for these mint brownies that they have with a mint frosting on top. If you ever come out here,
Yes.
we'll have them.
We
Really
should
good.
have like sleepover style and make
That'd
it.
be
I was
fun.
literally just thinking that when you
That'd
were
be
saying
so
it.
fun.
That'd
Oh
be
my
really
gosh.
fun.
I mean, I don't think anything really beats a hot chocolate chip cookie or just cookie in general. A hot cookie. Oh, that is the best. Yeah, I think I probably either that or a really good brownie.
Uh, have you had Levain cookies in New York?
I think I've had it one time. Yeah.
They just opened up one by me, and when
Hmm.
they're
They're
hot, oh
like
my gosh,
dangerous.
they're Rachel. Okay, so I need to come visit you. You need to come visit me, and
Yes.
we need to just eat cookies.
Yeah, yeah. But it looked like a really good bake sale.
Girl, yeah, I was like getting hungry watching this, and it was really late at night, so
Yeah.
and I didn't have any
It's
like
like,
satisfying treats in the house,
yeah.
so
Well, and now you can't have bake sales like this at schools. Everything has to be packaged. Everything has to be,
yeah.
which sort of sucks. But yeah.
Yeah, it's this thing of like I totally understand, but also it's just like a thing of like you losing some of that charm
Hmm.
of.
Yeah. And she's made this like diorama with her Barbie dolls because she's very concerned about the Latin club.
Aren't we
It
all?
was funny. That
Yeah.
was funny. And so then Patty crashes into the bake sale, and then and somehow through various shenanigans, Lauren ends up crashing into the bake sale, and she breaks her leg. I
Yeah.
was like, how did
I
that happen?
I mean, breaking your leg is pretty serious, especially the way that
Intense.
she's posted up. I was like, she can't move.
Yeah, it's not like she just turned her ankle or something like that,
No,
which I could have understood more. But breaking
totally.
your leg, like how do you do that? Just like bumping into somebody.
That's like hospital level.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
goodness
It's like,
gracious.
wow. And so everybody wants to sign her cast. And that is one thing that definitely has changed in the last like 20 years or whatever, is that they often don't cast I don't know about broken leg, but it seems like my friends and stuff that have broken bones don't do hard casts anymore. It seems like that's becoming
Oh.
less common,
What do they
and
do instead? Like,
they'll have like soft casts
yeah.
or like braces, different things. I feel like you don't
Yeah.
see the
Oh, yeah, the
hard casts as
brace,
much.
which was like,
Bless you.
sorry, thank you. Uh, I feel like that was such an iconic rite of passage. If you
Yeah.
got that when you were in high school or elementary school to get did you ever I never had a cast, but did
I
anyone?
never did. I've never really broken anything. I tore my MCL. That's the only like kind of injury I've had like that.
No, but no one's signing that.
No, no, definitely not. Uh, and so then there was another fantasy sequence here where she imagines everybody wearing glasses.
That was hilarious.
That was fun. That was
I was
funny.
like, this is just so bizarre and wow. I was like, we're doing
Yeah.
more of these fantasy sequences. Okay.
I mean, I guess in reality, I don't know if Patty's friends would have actually cared. She just thinks that they would care.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
and that is something true to being a teenager is you definitely, especially, I mean, we all think that people are caring about us more than they
Mhm.
actually are. They don't really,
Definitely.
they're not thinking about us. They're busy with their own lives. But especially when you're a teenager, you think that
Yes.
everybody is, and now it's even worse because of social media, that's all amplified.
Everything's revolving around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny though, seeing all of them in glasses. Like I thought it was a cute little funny interlude.
Yeah. Well, and also like if you think about it now, like if say you had like a snarky comment that came into your mind and you posted about it, whereas like in the past you would have just kind of, just laughed to yourself and let it go.
Yeah.
And now that like becomes a thing, and then you can be like, oh, I wish I hadn't said that. I wish I hadn't done that. That turned out mean or came across mean and I didn't mean it to be, or like it's just a
Totally.
mess. It can be a
It's a
mess.
it's a mess because something that you would have just said to another close friend that it probably wouldn't have even gotten back to the person now is like memorialized like
Yeah.
out there on the interwebs.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's Susan Mallory's new book, For the Love of Summer. Ready for a story that hits you right in the feels and makes you believe in the power of friendship and resilience? Check out New York Times bestselling author Susan Mallory's For the Love of Summer. Experience Allison's roller coaster ride of life, grappling with financial troubles and emotional highs and lows, and finding unexpected allies. Unravel the intricacies of family ties, the solace of true friendship, and the unwavering spirit that propels us forward. Grab your copy of For the Love of Summer at your favorite bookstore or use the affiliate link below and discover a story that will leave you asking, what would you do? That's For the Love of Summer, available today wherever you purchase your books. So yeah, it's just a mess. But anyway, so then the LaDonna and Jennifer go and eat lunch with Lauren. They're talking about there's no female DJs, and so they're sort of talking about that. And Patty and Lauren get in this big fight about it. That they're upset because your lack of wearing glasses caused me to break my leg. And anyway, and then Marshall's really upset that Patty and Lauren are fighting.
I love that. It's like the such an empath of like, I can't stand that they're fighting. I can't stand the energy.
Yeah. And so I was confused about this whole scene where Lauren says that she wants to be the DJ. And so like, okay, I'll let you try it. And then it's like, oh, psych, it's actually LaDonna. I was like, why didn't they just have LaDonna too from the beginning? I didn't understand the need of that subterfuge.
Also didn't make sense. Exactly. Yeah.
Like, what?
Didn't get it either.
Just have LaDonna be the DJ. She's
especially
awesome.
Because I thought it started off
with her like
setting
talking
LaDonna
about
up for that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
And so then Patty says to Lauren, I've had my handicap for years and nobody said anything. And because she's like resentful that Lauren's getting also attention for her broken leg. And it's like, I'm not sure how I feel about that, because obviously like being blind is a handicap.
Yes.
But you shouldn't like co-opt the disabled to gain like popularity points. Like that's not right either. And so like you shouldn't co-opt their things to like win a fight. Like it was a little cringe. It was a little cringe.
Cringe is the perfect word. It's also like, well, Lauren is in actual physical pain and this just happened. Like, of course we're gonna be there for her.
Yeah, and in the world of this story, Patty can wear her glasses. Lauren cannot take away her broken leg. Like if she was actually in the world of the story, if she was actually blind, even though I think she technically is blind, if she was, then she, there's no way to like take that away. And so she shouldn't expect like brownie points for when she chooses to not wear her glasses.
Yes. I totally agree. Yeah. It was like, Patty, come on.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
So, but I did like Johnny saying, I like glasses so much I wear them all the time.
It was cute.
Yeah, that was nice. Trying to make her feel better. And then LaDonna and Jennifer broadcast themselves, but they leave it on. So it like catches them continually talking, which is funny.
Which seems right for the two of them.
Live mic.
Have you ever actually had that happen?
I mean, I don't do many live broadcasts as far as the podcast is concerned. So no, I've never had that happen. I have had a couple times where I haven't hit record. That's as close to the opposite problem. Yeah. In fact, early interview with Crystal Lowe. This is one of the iconic moments of the podcast. So she got so we're interviewing her for Science Hill Delivered or whatever. And we got about 15 minutes in, and my co-host Amber was on it with me. Got about 15 minutes in, maybe 10, not long. And she had a UPS package come. So I put it on pause, right? She comes back. And I think we just like started talking and it was just so casual or whatever that I forgot to take it off of pause. Yeah. I was mortified. And I didn't realize until after we'd finished, we'd done the whole thing. And then, so she couldn't have been nicer. She actually came back twice because I had thought we'd gotten more in that first bit than we actually got. So, we recorded it again. And then she came back another time to catch what I thought we'd gotten in the first part. Unbelievable. But like, if you listen to the interview, I don't think you can actually tell. But the one thing that you can tell was that Amber couldn't come back for the re-records. So all of a sudden, Amber's just gone from the interview.
Gone. She said her piece.
And I mean, I'll always like respect her for that. Like that was, she could not have been nicer because I was crying.
Oh,
I was so embarrassed, and she just could not have been nicer. And I mean, luckily she had the time and was able
yeah.
to, but yeah, I'll always really admire Crystal Lowe for that, because
She's a
uh
fantastic
that
person.
was so nice of her. And she's making me feel better when I'm literally taking hours of her time and her schedule, and she had every right to be kind of annoyed with me, but she wasn't. And so anyway, that was a very memorable.
I
It's
love
the only
that.
time I've ever done that with a guest. I've done it twice with just like normal co-hosts, which is not as big a
No, you're
deal.
like, okay, just gotta do this again and try and recreate.
Yeah. But yeah, now I'm extra sure that I have recorded.
As we started talking about this, I was looking and I was like, yes, we're
Yeah.
recording.
I mean, knock on wood. But I've never done a live mic. Uh, so thankfully on a live stream or something like that.
It's always funny to see like things that go viral of like
Hmm.
politicians and performers that have done it. And you're
Oh
like,
yeah, I
you guys,
know.
if you're mic'd up,
Luckily, most of my
oh,
stuff is edited. Thank you. Thank
yes.
goodness.
Like, come on, y'all. No.
So then they have Marshall helping Lauren, and she's kind of upset because she can't go to the mall. She's like, it's just with the crutches, it's too hard. And he says everyone has problems. A broken leg is much easier to heal. So they and
It's not ideal.
no, that would be really hard. And I did that was cute that like everyone has a crush on John Boy Walton.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a number.
Yes.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies.
Well, so then the next episode is called Merry Pranksters. In an effort to increase their popularity, Lauren and Patty orchestrate a series of outrageous practical jokes at Wyoming High. The plan backfires when a well-known prankster gets all the credit. I feel like the pranks were not outrageous enough.
Nope, they were not.
There was like nothing, hardly at
Yeah.
all. Like I was like, am I just tired? Did I not get it? Like Marshall tries to scare people. There's like a few little like and also I don't feel like it's pranking to literally vandalize the school. That's not
That doesn't feel like a
pranking.
prank.
That's
No,
like committing a crime.
yeah.
Like that's not funny. It's not like enjoyable. Like we had my high school, we had a school that was our rival school, and we would do pranks and stuff. I was never involved. I promise. I was never involved in any of this, but there were some epic.
Are you being serious? I couldn't
Yeah.
tell by the look on your face.
No,
if you
I am
were
being
involved.
serious.
Okay.
I was not involved in the pranks, but but there was some legendary ones, like when they put toads in the pool.
Oh, yeah.
That was legendary. I remember that one. It's like,
That's a prank.
yeah, that's a prank. That's somewhat humorous,
Yeah.
And I can't remember the other ones. It was like wrapping saran wrap around the town, the mascot, or just stuff like that. That's like harmless. It's not like going to hurt anybody or be expensive to take care of. But we're gonna have things like that. But yeah, it can get out of control. But I don't feel like any of these things were outrageous.
I completely agree.
or funny.
Although, yeah, I did love seeing Patty and Lauren dressed up in their little trench coats and hats, looking
Yeah,
like
that
they were
was
straight
fun.
out of a Hallmark mystery.
Yeah, and so they have that you start out with Muffy doing this cheer and Johnny's on the bongo drums. That was fun. And they make a good point to to Patty and Lawrence is it takes nerves to be popular. You have to take risks. And I think that is true. And there's obviously a certain degree of luck that also comes into play in any kind of situation.
Yeah.
And what will happen? And but you have to kind of take some risks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I even feel with the podcast that, like doing this show, like doing different things. You got to take a chance. You got to try different things. You can't just do what's sort of expected
Yeah, you
and
don't know
expect to
what's gonna
grow your
pop.
audience. Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't know what's going to
exactly.
pop.
Yeah.
It's at least I certainly don't.
Yeah.
Try.
We're all just trying our best.
Yes. And so then Vinny says he never worries about looking dumb. They're like, good thing. You don't.
Believe that.
Yeah. That pranks attract attention. So this is what they're doing. And so I forget, is Muffy who's building the fallout shelter?
Think so?
There's a nuclear war would be the worst thing that can happen. And like you think about 1982, like there was still the Cold War was still going. I mean,
Yeah.
that was still a thing. Like you were worried about it.
Yeah. What a time.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah. And Jennifer has mono, the kissing disease.
So this was funny. Like
Yeah.
her being like, I just kissed a picture for you.
Yeah. And I read so I looked it up online. This is infectious mononucleosis is often called the kissing disease. The virus that causes mono is spread through saliva. You can get it through kissing, but you can also be exposed by sharing a glass or food utensils with someone who has mono.
It's well, not funny. I've never had mono, but I've had friends who've had it. It's terrible. Like I don't know why I got the kissing reputation thing because it's just spread the way. You know what I mean? Just like
Yeah.
anything else is like no.
Well, yeah, most things are spread through saliva.
Saliva. Yeah. Sharing a glass, like yeah.
But it does have that connotations of it. He's like, what? What's going on? Because he doesn't have it. So he's like, how
He's
do
like,
you have
what's going? Have you ever had mono?
No. I feel like I've had mono my whole life because I've been an insomniac my whole life. But I haven't ever had it to my knowledge.
Yes.
And I think it's one of those things that once you have it, it like changes you. Like you never quite 100% recover.
Yeah, but it's like it feels like it's debilitating.
Yeah, it like changes your body, I think.
Yeah.
It really does. So I didn't get the whole prank of Weemia High being for sale.
I didn't
This
either.
was like a big joke. I was like, I'm just tired. Like, what?
Yeah.
Why is that funny? I don't.
Yeah, you and I were in the same level of like tiredness that maybe we just didn't get it. But I also just think
they had it like listed on real estate, and that was like a big joke of like, oh, people are going to come buy the school. I was just what?
It's one of those pranks that it's like, okay, sure.
That's the thing. Like these pranks weren't outrageous, or there was nothing on here that was as funny as putting toads in the pool.
No,
nothing.
No. They got to go to your school and figure it out.
Yes, that's right.
Come on, Middletown
High School.
Come on.
Yes. And so then they sneak in with their outfits, and it was fun, like this little, Mission Impossible moment.
They just look so adorable. And you know, I love a mystery vibe.
Yeah.
So I thought this was really fun.
But I was just kind of like, oh, I don't really like the fact that they're spray painting the school. Like, that's not funny or like pranky. It's not, it's just kind of, don't do that.
Like if they had done something like booby trapped the school with like fun things and no one got hurt, you know what I'm saying? Like there was like, oh, you like walk in the classroom and water falls down.
Yeah,
and, like,
absolutely.
You know, that would have been fun.
Something funny. Or even if they had like graffitied and it was like art, so it was like interesting or something, but it was just like red words.
Like, okay.
It wasn't, like that, I could have been like, okay, kind of, that's interesting. But yeah, it wasn't funny. It wasn't outrageous. It was just kind of like, well, you're committing a crime and it's going to be expensive and all this stuff. Everyone thinks Vinny did it. Poor Vinny. He's poor like, Vinny. What? Muffy thinks that Vinny did it. And so and then Vinny asks Jennifer on a date. And that was cute. That was fun.
That was adorable.
Yeah. And then Marshall and Johnny, they ask Patty and Patty and Lauren ask Marshall and Johnny for advice on being popular and help them.
Like, you got to help us. Come on.
Yeah. And Marshall tries to scare Vinny. And it's like, we are the disturbed individuals. We are the mess. And so finally, then they confess. And I didn't really get, what was the whole thing with the teacher writing the Fabian Lives? What was that?
Oh, I didn't get that either. No, I didn't understand that.
That must have been 1982.
That must have been something that we weren't privy to. I did like the confession that it was like, you think that like someone else could spell this? Like, this is a complicated word.
You think Vinny could? You think Vinny could spell this? Yeah.
And then Vinny couldn't spell it.
Yeah, because so Vinny ends up getting suspended, but he's like, I'm fine with getting suspended. He has no problem.
He's like, cool.
And nobody will believe that Patty and Lauren are the actual culprits. They think they're lying. But
I love it. Even though they're taking responsibility, they're like, you couldn't have.
Yeah. So there's also this whole thing with Jim Morrison. I mean, that's where they got the whole idea, was the teacher talking about Jim Morrison.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's
the inspiration struck.
Yeah. So yeah, this one I think could have been better. It could have been funnier. There were no toads in the pool.
No toads in the pool. Yeah. What are we doing? Yeah. If you're not like getting like slimed and they're no toads in the pool, what are you even pranking? What's happening?
I mean, come on. What are amateurs?
Yes. Although outfits, 10 out of 10.
Yeah. I mean, even if they had just done a generic TPing, like that could have been funny.
Sure. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. It's like, yes, it's not very imaginative, but it's still like, it feels like a high school rite of passage thing.
Because you want something that will be really easy to clean up, that will be a little bit funny and not cause like any permanent damage.
Exactly.
Like if you're going to do this kind of prank, which you probably shouldn't do it. But if you are, make it be low cleanup. And I think that ideally you should help with the cleanup if you can.
I agree. I completely agree. Would they do that at your school after the pranks? People would help?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't remember. I mean, we're going back a ways because I'm old. But there was never anything that was like, it was always easy.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything too bad. I'm sure there's sometimes when they went over the line, but yeah, it was all stuff that was like an easy cleanup, which I think is the key.
Yes.
To making it like a pleasant sort of rite of passage.
Yes. Yeah. Make it fun for everyone.
Yeah. So there we go. That's Merry Pranksters.
I love that they're like, TV has changed so much in the sense of the number of episodes for this season.
Yeah, I know. It's so true. It's because they're so stingy with their TV in England. And now that's come over to us.
Certainly has.
And we only get 10, maybe if we're lucky, 10. A lot of times it's 6 or 8.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the new Bridgerton, 8 episodes.
Yeah.
In here, they have 20 for this season.
Like what? Wow.
When you used to get, I mean, granted, these are short episodes, only 22 minutes, but back in the day when you would get like 24 episodes of 24. Oh,
right.
Can you imagine?
Yep. Those were the days, baby.
Oh, that was a great show. But there we go. This is PEGS. Let us know what you think of these episodes. And if you were part of any legendary pranks in your youth, we want to hear about it. We want to hear.
Yes, please tell us.
Yes. I mean, I went toilet papering one time, TPing one time, but it was lame. So I never did anything too much.
Did
But
you wear a hat or a disguise?
I don't remember. I don't remember. I think we might have been kind of dark clothes, but I don't think it was like a full thing.
You didn't do like a mustache.
Yeah. But my
Funny.
teacher, it was our teacher at church, and she was like, "Oh, this was the lamest." The next day.
Oh my
church.
gosh, when your church teacher tells you it's lame, you know that's like a whole new level.
She's the best. So, but yeah, so let us know. We want to hear your legendary pranks.
Please, because we have not risen to the occasion. So help your girls out.
Yes. So there we go. And if you've broken any bones, but we want to hear that too. Your stories.
Yeah. If you guys get your cast signed.
Yeah. You never broke anything, right?
No. Yeah. No, never had that rite of passage. Although I'm crazy clumsy, so I cannot believe that I've gotten injured in so many ways, but no broken bones.
Right. I mean, I did have my appendix out and my tonsils out, so that was my like medical excitement.
You're just getting things removed.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, again, let us know what you think of these episodes. And Jax, where can people find you?
Jacqueline Collier on Instagram.
Great. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. Also, make sure you're following us at City Girls Pod on Twitter and at Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast, all over social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. That really helps us a lot. And if you are watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that so much. We also have our Patreon group, which is so much fun, and our merch store. So check that out. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.